So today I'm going to be upgrading some NAS disks. Currently I've got them mirrored and we have 2 terabytes or 2 terabytes in there. So we start off storage and snapshots, and to double click on the data drive, or you can click manage. This will bring you up your data manager panel and you can see the 2 NAS drives there. And we're just going to click on replace one disk and click on the change button just here, and it prompts you to remove the disk because they're mirrored. Shouldn't be a problem, you should cope quite easily with it. Of course that's what should have happened, however it didn't quite work out like that. So I thought I'd leave the page up and see what was going on, and you can obviously see that it says no operations can be executed, and then I get this message up saying and an email saying that the server is busy, and at this stage I'm thinking, okay, maybe processing. I haven't got the new disk in at this point, so it's basically just broken the mirror, so I'm a bit perturbed as to why that would be, but not too much of a problem. So I click reload and we lose access to the web admin. So panic stations, because I've got a live site on there, my web server, which is still going. So the box hasn't come down totally. Obviously the website's running, but just not the web interface. So this is Postman, and it's rather handy. You can do get and post commands. I just do a quick post here, or a quick get rather, with the address that normally would be the NAS address, and as you can see it's saying that the server hadn't responded. We pretty much knew that anyway, so time to do some troubleshooting and see what could be the problem. By this time I'd put the disk in, the new 4 terabyte disk in, and it looked as though it was resyncing, so it's not too much of a panic. I use ZenMap to quickly discover what was still going on in the box, and you can see plenty of ports still open there. 22 is SSH, 80 is the web admin, but only the front page that kicks you to 8080. FTP at 21, and this at 8088. So we'll plumb that 8088 in and see what's happening. Now that's the virtualization station. That's where all my VMs run. So I've got one for some HomeKit stuff that I use, and obviously the web service running on there. So all looks to be working as it should be, apart from the web admin interface. So I'm just going to try 8089. Nothing comes up on that, although it did come up in the scan. So I'm just having a look through some of the ports here to see what was available. 8088 we know was okay. 8089 didn't have anything on, but interestingly there's some VPN ones there, or VNC rather. So we're just going to try and VNC in and see what we can see. that's one of the servers. It's a HomeKit server, so I can control the TV. So it looks as though everything other than the web admin is currently running. So it's not a huge problem, although it would be nice to know what was going on, because obviously you need to know when the mirroring's finished, the resync. Now I did try this command I found on the internet, and I'll post a link in the comments, but basically thttpd.sh restarted the, or should restart the web interface, the web admin interface, and well, as you can tell, it certainly did. And if we go over, we're back in. Now there are a few things that don't quite look right. There are lots of alerts. We've got warnings on, and it says the data disk has failed, which it doesn't do when I do the second disk. But you can see it's rebuilding. And you can see the disk in there is the 4 terabyte. You can change the resync priorities, but I'm not too concerned. I knew it was going to take about 8 to 10 hours for this one, so it was a leave it overnight job and let it sync up, and then you just hope that nothing goes wrong overnight. But I had the other disk anyway, so it wasn't as if we were going to lose any data. So at the moment it's talking about 14 hours. I think in the end it was probably more like 10, but it wasn't too much of a problem. And if you want to, you can use the iOS, or I'm sure they have an Android version, to get you in. This managed to get me in and give me all the information here. So you can see that at this stage the RAID was rebuilding. It was 4% done. The app seemed to get in better than anything else, and they're both at 3.64 terabytes, 4 terabyte disks. But we need to extend, and we're back to you can replace these disks, but we want to expand the capacity out, so I'm just going to click on expand capacity and it will carry on syncing up. So we want to use, at the moment it's only using 1.8, but it will expand it out to the full 3.6 for the mirror. So you can see there the capacity at the top, and volume syncing has started. This is probably going to take another 8-10 hours, all depending on obviously how fast your disks are, how much memory you've got in the machine. But this 49.8 is the 1.76 that's already been mirrored, and the remaining is the rest that needs to be done. And again, this one said 13 hours, but in reality it was probably closer to 8. So we go back in and give it one last check to make sure everything is okay. So over to snapshots and storage, and in we go, and you can already see the capacity there is 3.5456, and capacity is all, and I now have 2 terabytes ready to play with.